Welcome to Lesson 3 of Learn Klingon the Easy-ish Way. Here are some more useful words. If you didn't already know, a tricorder is a scanning device small enough to hold in one hand. A star or a sun is tlhob. Tlhob. Imagine a star orbited by billions of horses' hooves. Tlhob. Planet is yuk. Imagine a backward planet whose residents are being entertained by the Queen on her ukulele. Yuk. Moon is marsh. Imagine that the Earth's moon is now covered in marshland. Marsh. Ship is dooge. Imagine a ship crewed exclusively by Dutch people, all of them wearing clogs. Dooge. Tricorder is Hoqra. Imagine using your tricorder to analyse an antique hockey stick that's incredibly rare. Hoqra. Weapon is ngeH. Imagine that a nuke is the only weapon you need. ngeH. You already know that pu means more than one when it is a suffix. When it's a separate word, it is used for the weapon which humans call a phaser, but which Klingons and Romulans call a disruptor. So a phaser or a disruptor is pu. Imagine using an enormous phaser to blast away at a rock face, hoping to reach the pure dilithium crystal below. It's much easier than digging with sticks. Pu. betleH, which is a Klingon sword, is betleH. Imagine making a large bet that you will find a Klingon sword at the bottom of the lake. betleH. What is the English for betleH? betleH, a Klingon sword. For pu, phaser or disruptor. For ngeH, weapon. For Hoqra, tricorder. For dooge, ship. For marsh, moon. For yuk, planet. For tlhob, star or sun. How do you say in Klingon, betleH, a Klingon sword? betleH. Phaser or disruptor. Pu. Weapon. ngeH. Tricorder. Hoqra. Ship. Dooge. Moon. marsh. Planet. Yuq, star or sun. Qov. How do you say, the Terran sees a planet? Yuq ler verengan. The Vulcan sees a star. Qov ler verengan. The human doesn't see the moon. Marsh ler betleH. The Klingon has a betleH. betleH Raj Klingon. The Romulan has a tricorder. Hoqra Raj Romulushangan. The Cardassian doesn't have a ship. Duj Rajbet Kardashangan. The captain hears the weapon. nuqneH Hod. The officer wants the phaser. ngeH Yash. The doctor and the patient. Khel Shid Jer. The doctor and the patient celebrate. tlhob Khel Shid Jer. Here are some more useful verbs. Asks is tlhob, tlhob. Imagine a Ferengi who always asks the tlhob before making an important business decision. tlhob. Answers is jang, jang. Imagine that when someone wants to know if you are rich, you answer by jangling the loose coins in your pockets. Jang. Uses is lo, lo. Imagine someone who uses the law to punish his enemies rather than using a stick. Lo. Sends is ngeH, ngeH. Imagine sending some card and cake to your best friend. ngeH. Receives is ngev, ngev. Imagine that you have received inspiration from the heavens. ngev. Buys is je, je. Imagine that you buy a charming chair made entirely from sticks and twigs. Je. Sells is ngev, ngev. Imagine that you sell something and give all the money to your friends. ngev. Becomes is moj. Moj. Imagine that your company is becoming bigger and bigger by merging with all its rivals one by one. Moj. What is the English for moj? Becomes. For ngev. Sells. For jeh. Buys. For ngev. Receives. For ngeH. Sends. For tlhob. Uses. For jang. Answers. For tlhob. Asks. How do you say in Klingon becomes? Moj. Sells. ngev. Buys. jeh. Receives. ngev. Sends. ngeH. Uses. tlhob. Answers. Jang. Asks. tlhob. How do you say I buy? jeh. I sell. ngev. I buy and I sell. jeh. Edge. ngev. You ask. betleH. You don't answer. jang. You ask but you don't answer. betleH. Ach. jang. Now look at these sentences. I see is geler. I see you is qaler. Whenever I am doing something to you, such as seeing you or understanding you, you use the prefix qa. Qa means I am doing something to you. Once again, the whole English sentence is translated by just a single Klingon word. However, when I am doing something and no one else is involved, you must still use the prefix je. So how do you say I ask? tlhob. I ask you. tlhob. I answer. jang. I answer you. jang. I help you. qach. I obey you. tlhob. I don't ask. tlhob. I don't ask you. tlhob. I don't answer. jang. I don't answer you. jang. Now look at these sentences. I buy is je. I buy it is veje. Whenever I am doing something to it, such as buying it or selling it, you must use the prefix vi. Vi means I am doing something to it. How do you say I buy? je. I buy it. veje. I sell. ngev. I sell it. ngev. I send it. ngeH. I receive it. vechev. I don't use it. vilo. I believe you. kachar. You tell the truth. bivit. You don't lie. binep. Here's a summary of the verb prefixes you have learned so far. I do something is je. You do something is be. I do something to you is ka. I do something to it is vi. When books about languages list the words I, you, it, and so on, they traditionally list them in a certain order. The first word on the list is always I, the second is always you, and after that comes it. This order is easy to remember because I am usually the most important person in the conversation, and you are the most important person after that. Everything else, like it, is usually less important. When we use images to remember the Klingon prefixes, we will always use the order I, you, it. That's why in our earlier hermit image, je, meaning I, comes before be, meaning you. Let's use another image to remember the prefixes ka and vi. They both mean that I am doing something, so this image will start with something that symbolizes yourself, your own home. So imagine arriving home from work in your own car. Outrageously, someone wants to charge you a large fee for parking outside your own home. Ka for I am doing something to you. Vi for I am doing something to it. Let's practice those prefixes now. How do you say I ask? tlhob. I ask you. tlhob. I answer. jang. I answer you. jang. I buy. jie. I buy it. vije. I sell. ngev. I sell it. ngev. You walk and I run. betleH, jacket. I send it, but I don't receive it. ngeH, ach, be. In some situations, we don't use prefixes at all. None of the following sentences involve I doing something or you doing something, so there are no prefixes to think about. How do you say, the Klingon uses the weapon? lo Klingon. The Earth has a moon. Marsh Raj Tera. The planet has a sun. Hov Raj Yuk. The captain buys a ship. Duj Je Hod. The officer becomes a captain. Hod Moj Yash. The officers become captains. Hod Pu Moj Yash Pu. Here are some more people words. Father is vav. Imagine that you have 5 fathers. Vav. Mother is shosh. Imagine a mother telling her noisy children to be quiet. Shh. Shosh. Now, vav means father, but vavnI means grandfather. Similarly, shosh means mother, but SoSnI means grandmother. To remember the ni part, you could imagine moving home to live near your grandparents. The head of a Klingon house is called joch. In English, this would be translated as lord or lady. So imagine that the lord and the lady of the house love to go for an early morning jog around their vast estate. joch. Neighbour is Jill. Imagine that all your neighbours are called Jill. Prisoner is qama. Imagine becoming a prisoner in a cage made of sticks because you have very bad karma. Qama. You probably won't need an image to remember that the word for Ferengi is verengan. Verengan. So, what is the English for verengan? Ferengi. For qama. Prisoner. For jil. Neighbour. For jogh. Lord or lady. For SoSnI. Grandmother. For vavnI. Grandfather. For SoS. Mother. For vav. Father. How do you say in Klingon Ferengi? Verengan. Prisoner. Qama. Neighbour. Jil. Lord or lady. Jogh. Grandmother. SoSnI. Grandfather. vavnI. Mother. SoS. Father. Vav. How do you say, the prisoner has a mother? SoS. Raj. Qama. The prisoner doesn't have a father. Vav. Rajbe. Qama. The doctor helps the grandfather. vavnI. Kach. Khel. The child obeys the grandmother. SoSnI. tlhob. Puk. The father and the mother. Vav. SoS. Jer. The father and the mother send the phaser. Pu. ngeH. Vav. SoS. Jer. The Lord doesn't want a neighbour. Jil. ngeH. Jogh. The ladies chat. Jau. Jochpu. The Ferengi uses a betleH. betleH. Lo. Verengan. Now, Klingon has no words to translate hello and goodbye, or to translate please and thank you. When you start a Klingon conversation, you usually just start talking about the matter at hand. Where is the Terran planet, perhaps, or how much is the dilithium crystal? However, a Klingon conversation will often begin with, what do you want? This phrase is heard so frequently that English speakers can use it in place of pleasantries like hello, good morning, and how are you? A good way to end a conversation, especially with someone who is setting off to battle, is to say success. Let's learn those phrases now. What do you want is nuqneH. NuqneH. Nuq means what, and you already know that ngeH means want. To remember the whole phrase, imagine knocking on someone's door with a knock knock. Someone opens the door and demands angrily, "What do you want?" nuqneH. Success is Qapla, Qapla. Imagine that a married couple are wishing each other success before setting off to battle. Qapla. What is the English for Qapla? Success. For nuqneH. What do you want? How do you say in Klingon success? Qapla. What do you want? nuqneH. How do you say the grandfather teaches the neighbour? tlhob vavnI. Success. Qapla. The grandmother doubts the tricorder. Hoqra, SoSnI. The prisoner doesn't believe the Ferengi. Verengan, qama. The woman becomes a lady. tlhob. The man becomes a lord. lord. I eat. Jishop. I eat it. Vishop. I ask. tlhob. I ask you. tlhob. You teach, but you don't learn. be. What do you want? nuqneH. Romulus, Cardassia, and Vulcan. Romulus, Cardash, Vulcan, jang. And that's the end of Lesson 3.